at Chase Center.
Don't get too high or too low. But this Clipper team, come on, they're for real.
Clippers are riding very, very high.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take. It's been a great week out here in LA on this Feel Good Friday. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Molly
What's up?
Rose.
What's up? Good morning. How y'all doing?
Bringing it home today.
Yeah.
Ready to do this?
So good to have the NBA back.
No question. It wasn't so good for the Warriors last night, though. Things did not go as planned in their brand new arena across the bridge in San Francisco. Golden State struggled to play defense, allowing the most points ever in a home opener, 141 to the Clippers, who are also setting records by putting up the most points through 2 games, 253 to be exact. Kawhi put up 21, had a career-high 9 assists. Meanwhile, Steph Curry had 23. But that came with 8 costly turnovers. The Warriors are not accustomed to being the underdog. Here's Steve Kerr.
The last 5 years, we've been living in a world that isn't supposed to exist. 5 years that basically was record-wise, I believe, the best stretch if anybody's ever had over 5 years. So this is reality. Nine guys, 23 or younger, and we're starting over in many respects.
We sucked, and we gotta get better. I'm not a coach, so I'm not about to go watch a film and say, oh, well, we can build on this. I really don't give a damn about what we can build on. We sucked tonight, and we gotta get better overall, and that's just what it is.
I think over the course of the season, we're going to score enough points because we have some talent on that end of the floor. It's just a matter of how bad we want it on the other end and the sense of urgency. So it is one game. Sucked out there tonight. Got to come back and beat OKC on Sunday.
Max, you got a smirk on your face. I don't know what this is about. But was this more about Steph to you or Kawhi?
Of course it's more about Kawhi, and we didn't show one thing. This is amazing to me. Kawhi's not the B side. When are people going to understand he's the A side?
Yeah.
The other guy is the B side. This goes back to this goes back to earlier in his career, but let's pick it up. Last season, in the playoffs, Stephen A. against the Greek Freak.
Okay.
The Greek Freak was really the story. Oh, no, he wasn't. We can even go to him against Embiid and Simmons. What was the story of that series? Kawhi Leonard. What was the story of the next series against Kawhi Leonard? What was the story of the finals? Oh, Kevin Durant not playing. Wrong. It was Kawhi Leonard. Obviously, if KD plays, the Warriors win, but that's because the Warriors were way, way better than the Raptors if they were fully loaded. Not because KD is better than Kawhi. To start this season, what's the story? LeBron James. Wrong, it's Kawhi Leonard. What's the story last night? Oh, Steph this or someone else that. Wrong. As usual, it's Kawhi Leonard. Either he does whoever he needs to do, like the Freak, Simmons, Embiid. Either someone doesn't want it with him, like LeBron, or the guy, he's the biggest star on the other side, isn't playing the same position, like Steph, but Kawhi has consistently been the actual story. Stephen A., you realize he gave you 21, 9, and 5 and 3/4, and by the way, the 9 is assists to 1 turnover. He was a playmaker for them when he needed to be. And of course, is always playing defense. The story, people will eventually get it, is Kawhi.
I'm going to excuse your ignorance on this particular subject for one reason and one reason only. You aren't a newspaper guy. You don't understand that when you wake up in the morning, it's about the storyline for that day. You gave us an overview of the season, which is entirely accurate. The problem was last night, the Golden State Warriors were the story. Here's why. Because without KD and without Klay Thompson, also based off of what we saw Tuesday night from the Clippers against the Lakers, it was a foregone conclusion that a roster that deep, thoroughly coached by Doc Rivers, too deep at every position, clearly the favorites to win the chip, was head and shoulders above this version of the Golden State Warriors. So the storyline specifically for last night, if you're talking about the season, Max Kellerman's right on the money. But going into last night, in the new arena, in San Francisco, with the Golden State Warriors, sans Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, the story was, how is Steph Curry, who some people are projecting to be the league MVP because suddenly he's going to be unleashed, how is he going to handle the onslaught of bodies being thrown in his direction where he has nobody else to lean on because his boys are simply not there outside of Draymond Green, who is no scorer. He's a player. That was the storyline going into last night. And what we learned is how human Steph Curry can look. 2 of 11 from three-point range. What was it? 23 points on the evening or whatever it was. It was 8 for 20 shooting. Overall, relatively pedestrian and normal relatively pedestrian for him because of the multitude of bodies you could throw at him. You knew what you were going to get from the Clippers because they showed it to you 48 hours earlier. You know what you're going to get from Kawhi because he spent the last year or so showing us what you're going to get from Kawhi. What was Steph going to do for the first time on his own, all by his lonesome since his rookie year? No Klay, no KD to lean on. And you found out against an elite team, particularly an elite defensive team, how difficult it would be for him. I'm just saying that was the story for last night. It's not about Kawhi Leonard playing second fiddle. It's about, okay, when you're so big time, and you're the reigning NBA champion and the reigning NBA Finals MVP, we all expect to see you as the season progresses. We know what you're going to do, but we don't know yet from Steph, and we needed to see it.
Hold on. Are you sure you know what Kawhi is going to do? You remember when Doc Rivers compared Kawhi to MJ? And everyone was like, we know what that's about. He wants Kawhi over here with him. But let me tell you something about, I noticed this about the Clippers roster. Who's the point guard? Do they really have a classic point guard?
Not a classic
point
guard.
They have two. They have Patrick Beverly and Lou Williams, I guess, are technically their point guards. But like MJ on the Bulls, he didn't play with a real point guard.
By the way, there's nothing point about Lou Williams. He's a scoring machine.
Right. But of course, he's just a guard who gets a lot of touches in the second year. Right, of course.
You bring him in to score.
Of course.
He has the green light.
Naturally. I'm talking about technically. The point is Michael Jordan played next to guards who were willing defenders and could shoot, right? So B.J. Armstrong, Ron Harper, Steve Kerr, like guys like that. Patrick Beverly is like a great example, a great defender who can really shoot from the outside and can kind of organize your offense, but that's not doesn't need the ball. He's the perfect guy next to Kawhi. But then in that case, Stephen A., Kawhi, the one weakness in his game has been in recent, or really since he's been in the league, he's not a great passer. He really wasn't a passer at all, and he developed into an okay, but he's not a great passer. He's not like LeBron or KD, who's turned into a terrific passer. Last night, 9 assists, 1 turnover.
So?
If Kawhi's playing like that, there is no stopping this team.
Max Kellerman, I got to look at the box score. You know why I got to look at this box score? Because I don't know who the hell's playing for the Warriors. I know Draymond and Steph are playing.
A lot of young guys.
Let's look at the list here. Glenn Robinson, the third. I wish him luck. Kevon Looney, yeah, we know that name. D'Angelo Russell, we heard of him, and he actually went on a 10-0 spurt earlier on.
They tried to put Robinson on Kawhi.
The rest of the game. Okay, Eric Pascal, Marquise Chris, Jacob Evans, Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, Amari Spellman. I'm sorry, Max Kellerman. You're trying to tell me that people walked in the last night and, we don't know what we're going to get from Kawhi, and that was on their mind? No. You knew what you were going to get from Kawhi, especially against these boys. You were looking for what you were going to get from Steph. Just for last night's purposes, it was about Steph. It wasn't about Kawhi and the Clippers. And the last point that I want to make is this. My condolences. I really, really hope that what I saw last night, I don't see in the future. Those empty seats inside of San Fran, this was my concern about the team moving from the Oracle. That fan base in Oakland is real. In San Francisco, it appears to be very corporate, and damn it, it looked like it. I wasn't happy with that crowd.
I want to go at your Steph point for a second. What happened to Steph? Patrick Beverly, who I brought up earlier. There was some reports that Patrick Beverly was yelling at me after the opener in the locker room.
Yelling at you?
Yeah, yelling. What happened was I went in there, we were talking for a minute, and he started saying, hey, I don't like kind of blaming me for the, not in an angry or anything, for the media playing highlights of dunks and not really showing the win, like showing who actually won the game, like what we just did there. The Warriors lost. We played nothing but Warriors highlights. We didn't play the good Clippers stuff, right? But let's talk about the good Clippers stuff. The reason Steph had 8 turnovers is because Patrick Beverley was on him. That's as much of a story to me as Steph.
So what you're trying to say? That's a story now. Like who walks into a Clippers game and doesn't expect to see some defensive wizardry from Patrick Beverley? It's what we don't talk about much else other than about Patrick Beverley than that. Of course, that's something everybody expects.
So you think, oh, Steph's going to struggle because Patrick Beverley forced 8 turnovers? You think that means Steph's going to struggle?
Max, I get what you're saying. It's about how good the Clippers look, et cetera. But remember, the Warriors dominant for so long, and people didn't expect them, I think, to look this bad.
Well, I must say,
that's why they're getting.
Don't play the Clippers.
I must say, I'm glad you get what he's saying. I don't get what you're saying at all. Let's go.
Coming up on First Take from LA, let's talk a little football, guys. Did Kirk Cousins' performance finally convince Stephen A. to give him a little love? Stephen A., what else you got?
A lot more to come up right here on